examination of the basics. Upon connecting with the client user, you, the server user, will be met with a control panel, allowing you to manipulate your co-player's environment. You will find that you are allowed to deploy 4 items at no expense. 3 of these are rather large machines, and 1 is a punch card. It's quite possible you've already deployed some of these items before reading this. If this is the case, and you've activated the machine called the Cruxtruder such that it displays a countdown, you must proceed to section A100 of this walkthrough immediately. The life of the client user depends on it, and if your co-player has activated this device in your environment too, then yours does as well. But if not, please refrain from doing anything with the Cruxtruder, aside from merely deploying it. This will buy us some time to think things through properly, and to go over the basics of the game before you find your soft, easily punctured head in the jaws of the lion. As mentioned, there are 4 items to consider, each playing a role in a process which appears to have a singular purpose: to manufacture objects out of thin air. The designers of this game, judging by the language used, regard this process as a sort of alchemy. This may allude to complexities in the production process yet to present themselves. But for now, the variety of objects you're able to create remains quite limited. The items in question are the Cruxtruder, again, tread lightly with this one, the totem lathe, the alchemitter, and the pre-punched card. I will describe how these devices work in conjunction with each other, and I will use the analogy of having a key made at a hardware store to help you understand. First, deploy all these objects in convenient proximity to each other. Be sure not to block doors or pathways with them. You can always revise the dimensions of rooms to make space for them, but I'd advise against this, or even experimenting with the function. Doing so comes at the expense of build grist, a commodity which appears to be at a premium at the onset, and one you'd be best advised to save for later. The Cruxtruder. Removing the lid signifies the moment your life becomes a great whirling batshit pandemonium, somewhat resembling the chaos of an especially ethnic wedding. Somewhere, a soused uncle deliberately shatters china on the floor. Muddy livestock is decorated and then lost track of. The question, whose mule is this, at times can be heard over the din. This is now your reality. But aside from that, it marks the beginning of the process I am about to describe. The countdown begins, yes. Also, an entity called the Kernel Sprite is released. But neither of these things are all that relevant to this process, to my knowledge. More on these things later. What is relevant is the unlidded Cruxtruder's ability to dispense Cruxite dowels. It will dispense at least one, though I suspect it is capable of producing more, given parameters I'm not yet familiar with. In my key-making analogy, these dowels represent the uncarved pieces of metal which the hardware store employee retrieves from a drawer or a rack, and sets about carving into a key. The 2 following items are needed to do the carving. The pre-punched card. It is a simple Siladex card containing an item. There is evidence to suggest the specific item it contains is variable from session to session. The card I deployed contained a blue apple. Yours may be different. It shouldn't matter, hopefully. Additionally, the card, as you may guess, is punched, like one used with antique computing systems. The pattern of holes comprises data, which I believe corresponds to the instructions for creating the item the card contains. That it is pre-punched suggests there is a way to punch an unpunched card, possibly imprinting it with the data for the item it contains, though no mechanism for this has presented itself yet. But the data on the card cannot be used to create the item directly. There is a middleman. That middleman is a totem lathe. The totem lathe. This is essentially the key carving machine. It will carve into your Cruxite dowel a pattern of grooves and contours, the sort which makes a key unique. The instructions for this pattern are supplied by the punch card, which is inserted into the lathe pre-activation to configure its chisels. Once the dowel is carved, you have a totem serving as your key, which can then be used to unlock the card item through the alchemitter. But at this point I will diverge from my key-making analogy and switch to a barcode analogy, which is not a terribly strenuous leap to make, since the concepts of a key and a barcode are essentially the same, one being a unique pattern of grooves, the other of varying black lines. The alchemitter. If you place a Cruxite dowel, carved or uncarved, on the alchemitter's small pedestal, its robotic arm will scan the contours with a laser, hence the barcode analogy. This is the machine's way of reading the data originally imprinted from the card, and transforming that data into a physical object. Though typically this is not done without expense, I believe. An uncarved dowel results in the creation of a perfectly generic object, which is a seemingly useless green cube. It costs 2 units of build grist to make, and I do not advise you to waste resources on it. There appears to be many other varieties of grist, ostensibly used in combinations to create different sorts of items, which possibly offers some insight into the game's use of the term alchemy. But quite conveniently, there is an exception to this. Creating the item on the pre-punched card costs nothing. This is good, because creating this item turns out to be essential. Now that you know this, you can in your own time begin the process. Once you initiate it, naturally there is no going back, so best to be prepared, but you probably shouldn't drag your feet too long. As I mentioned earlier, this is your only means of escape. When you're ready, be prepared to follow the steps in the next section swiftly.
In the distance, meteorites fall with greater frequency. The fire in the forest burns so hot, not even the rain will put it out. You check the status of the battery. Your laptop battery is all right for now, but it won't be for long. If the power in the house doesn't come back on, you can think of one last resort, the small backup generator stored behind the mausoleum. You prototype the sprite with the Betty Crocker box.
What? Oh man, you're gonna use that? That sucks, what a stupid idea.
We have to hurry along. I'm running low on battery power.
But the cake mix! That's so dumb.
I doubt it matters. We might as well just use any old crap lying around.
Fine, I guess.
The sprite is playing hard to get. You guess that's what you get for originally prototyping it with something that engenders mischief and pranksterism.
Do the potted vegetable instead. It looks delicious.
Pipe down, you. This is Rose's decision, not yours. You prototype the sprite with the Sassacre text.
Oh yes, sweet, now we're talking.
See if you can distract it. I'll try to sneak up on it.
Don't flail about in a distracting manner.
The sprite finds the distracting manner in which you flail about to be rather distracting. The pesky sprite eludes you again. Not even the great Colonel himself can outfox it. In narrowly missing with your attempts to create the Colonel sprite, you drop the massive tome. The entire house rattles under the astonishing girth of the book. In the other room, Nana's ashes dump onto the sprite, which is caught unawares by the dousing.
Inspect Hagash incident.
You find the sacred urn toppled again. This time you're quite sure it wasn't your fault. The sprite is nowhere to be found. You remove the Cruxtruder from the doorway.
Oh man, where'd it go?
I can't find it anywhere in the house. No time to worry about it. The next thing we should do is get your server copy of the game from the car. You need to connect to my client, so I can repeat your steps and presumably join you, wherever you are. We should do this quickly before my house burns down.
What, there's a fire?
There will be soon.
Oh jeez, so move this thing already.
It looks like it requires a lot of grist to move. I don't have enough to relocate the door either.
How much do you have?
0.
Oh. I thought about jumping to the car from the ledge earlier, but that sounds really dangerous.
I have a better idea. Meet me upstairs.
Do again as purple words say.
You are about to head upstairs, but you thought you heard something behind you. It was faint, but you swear it was a small, light-hearted chuckle, along the lines of a spirited hoo-hoo-hoo.
Ignore this woman's antics.
You're not sure you even saw a woman, let alone any of her hypothetical antics, but whatever it was you might have caught a glimpse of, it sure gave you the willies. You head upstairs on your way to the balcony. Your PDA is acting up again.
Indulge the device, but be curt with it.
Hey, bro, check it out. I'm working on some new rhymes.
Dude, I don't have time for your nerdy raps.
Come on, this'll be hells of ill. Just listen.
It sounds like you don't even believe me that I was about to get blown up. But I really was, and now I'm in some weird dimension that Suburb sent me to or something. And now on top of that, I think I'm being haunted by my dead grandma.
Huh? For real?
Yeah, it's true, but I'll talk to you later about it.
I think I could drop some sick rhymes about all this.
Man, see, I just don't think all the rapping stuff is really as cool as you think it is.
No, this'll be dope. Check it.
Nope, I have to go. Bye.
Wait. Armageddon's getting waged on us, but Armageddon armed and dangerous, sending man in space for saving us, seeing which play is more courageous. Ben or Bruce, dudes reach a truce, put their blow shoots to use and upsuck it. Afflex and sacrifice, would be suffice off fluck it. Bro be a stained glass saint, up on a cross getting hella Christ Pelagius. Bruce is like, off of this crucifix. Enough of this fucking savior fuss. Restrained his ass permaclane redux, while Buscemi remained derangerous. When a plan gone astray pays off a wasted craterus. Ashtray catering to layers of meth, McConaughey's vague remainder dust. Wait, McConaughey wasn't even in any of those Meteor movies, was he? I'll have to make a rap about, I don't know, Morgan Freeman or something, being the president. It'll be called, Obama made it so that no one gives a shit about black presidents in movies anymore. See, you've got to fill me in on what's going on, so I have something to rap about besides all your dumb shit movies.
Enough strange poetry from the red text.
You head out to the balcony to find what Rose has in mind. She is messaging you again.
The purple text is less irrational than the red text.
I'm lifting the car up to the balcony.
Whoa, okay.
Once it's up, retrieve the game. Then I'll put it back down on the driveway.
But the door is locked.
Then break a window.
But it's my dad's car.
It's just a window, and this is sort of an emergency. Otherwise, I promise, I'll handle the car with velvet gloves.
All right.
You pick up the car.
Ridiculous folly. Inexcusable.
You're inclined to agree, but hey, accidents happen. You double-check your PDA to make sure if Rose is really gone. Indeed, this seems to be the case. TG is still pestering you, of course, but another chum is now logged in as well.
What colour are the words that this chum says?
I'm back.
Oh, hi.
I went to go investigate the explosion I heard.
Was it by any chance a meteor?
Yes! How did you know?
Oh man, it's kind of a long story. Anyway, are you okay? Did it blow up your yard or start a fire or anything?
No, I am fine. It landed a pretty good ways from my house, and I went to go look at it. And it's pretty big. But Beck doesn't want me to go near it, so I came home. He seems to think it's dangerous.
Well, gosh, he's probably right.
Anyway, what have you been up to, John? Oh, did you get my package yet?
Yeah, I was trying to get it, but Rose dropped my car into a weird, spooky, bottomless pit, and the package was in the car, and I'm really sorry about that.
Oh, no!
Wow, okay, I guess I should start at the beginning. See, a meteor blew up my neighborhood.
That's terrible, John. I'm so sorry.
But I'm okay. And my house is too. Sort of. That game I was telling you about, Suburb, in which I was playing with Rose, sort of transported me somewhere at the last minute. But now I'm trapped here, and it's weird and dark, and I can't find my dad, and I just lost the car and my copy of the game in the pit, and I think I have to save the world from the apocalypse.
Ooh, well, it sounds really crazy and kind of scary, but it also sounds kind of exciting. I don't know, John, maybe this is your destiny. If anyone can save the world, I think it is probably you.
Well, wow, you think so?
Yes.
Well, okay, but it's not even that simple. I was about to connect to Rose to help transport her and save her from meteors and fire and stuff. But she just lost battery power and I just lost the game disc. So I think I have to get TG to use his copy to save her. But that jackass won't shut up and stop rapping and stuff.
He is so silly.
Yeah, anyway, I should talk to him about it, so BRB.
The green text was attractive. Now view the red text again.
When the film crew zooms with a president's at, I'm like, if that dude's black, I'll eat my hat. Turns out he is, so we're all like, damn, director got gumption. Like, we'll all flip our shit, he ain't shining shoes or something. It's called Freemancipation. If it's not Pres-election, it's God Ascension. In Bruce Almighty. Whoops, different Bruce from the one I just mentioned.
Ah!
Can't explain to me why this ain't condescension to think I'll shit a brick. Not even he can convey the intention with his quick-spun wit. Rather defray all this tension, sit on his lap while he whittles a splint. And some guy eyes what he does and patronizes. I guess negrosity's the mother of invention.
Stop rapping for 1 second, you horse's ass! I have something important to talk about.
What's up?
Rose is in trouble and she needs help. I was going to connect to her with Suburb, but I lost my copy.
Okay.
Also, she lost battery power. If she can get back up and running, she'll need someone with the game to get her out of there before her house burns down. So I think you should use your copy of the game to help her.
My copy? That's going to be tough.
Why?
I lost it. It's a stupid story and I'd rather not talk about it. Should be embarrassing, yo.
I thought you said you had 2.
Well, yeah. One is my brother's copy.
Okay, we'll get his then.
Alright, but he's not going to be happy about that.
Whatever. Also, you might want to read Rose's walkthrough to get up to speed on this.
Oh, man.
What?
Nothing really. Look, all I'm saying is the girl tends to lay it on kinda thick, you know?
Rolls eyes.
Your laptop is out of battery power. There's only one thing left to do. Time to make your way to that backup generator. You knit a laptop cozy to shield your laptop from the rain. That would be such a waste of time. Besides, you already knitted one a while ago. You retrieve it from your knitting bag and apply it to your laptop. You capsulog the laptop plus cozy. You equip the grimoire to your striped specibus. That would be incredibly ill-advised. There are some dark forces you just don't want to mess around with. You understand this better than most. You put the book down. You recapsulog your items. You grab the knitting bag and the grimoire in that order. It's always a logical puzzle with your tree modus. The tree auto-balances, leaving the knitting bag accessible in the root card. You allocate the knitting needles to your striped specibus. You feel a lot more comfortable with this as a weapon. You're so handy with those needles, you feel like you could probably use them to fillet a swordfish. You lose the root card in the process, severing the tree. Hey, careful with all that stuff. You knit a plush cuddle Cthulhu to soothe your nerves. That would also be a preposterous waste of time. Besides, you are quite sure you've never heard of this creature called Cthulhu before. There are, however, many other specimens of the zoologically dubious you're familiar with, such as... You consult your grimoire, Fluthu, foul patrician of misery. To hear his mammoth belly gurgle is to know the epic of joy has come to an abrupt end. And Nerebuglyph, Shamebeast king of grotesquerie, Writhe lord of the moist beyondhood. Hearing his melodious chirps and tongue clicks causes one's bones to explode. And of course, there's Oglagoth, the deep one. Whenever he grinds his teeth, all the children of a random galaxy somewhere will frown continuously for a 9,000-year span. He is the first and smallest of the smaller gods, appointed in servitude of a vile, unfathomable pantheon of middling gods, which caters to the whims of the noble circle of horror-terrors. An omniscient, omnipotent order of the elite few, forever cloaked in the darkness of the furthest ring. And then there's this strange page containing some rather mysterious notes on summoning procedures. You've never been quite sure what these diagrams are getting at. You take your items and proceed downstairs. You recapsulog everything the way you want it to appear in the tree and head downstairs. You figure that's enough dilly-dallying. Time to get a move on. You wonder if this rain will ever let up. It's driven since the month began, perhaps long enough to forget its purpose. It no longer even knows how to assuage fire. Somewhere, a zealous god threads these strings between the clouds and the earth, preparing for a symphony it fears impossible to play. And so it threads on, delaying the rays of the conductor's baton. How you hate this season. April is the cruelest month, breeding lilacs out of dead land, mixing memory and desire, stirring dull roots with spring rain. American sports legend Charles Barkley.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm Tex and I'm the voice of Terezi in Jade's Understudy, as well as running the project. New news, we have now reopened the role of Jade Harley. If you're interested in auditioning, then check out our blog. Don't forget to comment your thoughts on the episode and subscribe to see our next video when it comes out. We'll see you next time.